What's up guys, Petko here. Today we're gonna talk about top 3 ranged options for Season 2. Just because season coming in exactly 3 or like 2 days, I guess, depends on the region you're from now. So I feel like right now we already have the final changes. There wouldn't be any more coming in several weeks from now. So we're pretty much safe to say those picks will be the top 3 unless otherwise, something dramatic happens. And in that case, I will always update you and making sure that you guys know the latest information for Season 2. Now keep in mind, all of the, I guess, rankings you want to call it, or like my choices are based on not personal preference, but rather damage output, both single target, AoE, private damage, self-sustain, defensiveness, and how well you fit within a meta quote-unquote comps, which again, mostly going to apply for high-level keys, but if you play like average, low-level keys, pretty much anything can make it work, okay? So no stress, no panic, let's begin. Alright, so coming in at number 3 is going to be Retribution Paladin. Honestly, this spec has been underestimated by so many people just because it's 2-button spec. Yes, obviously it is pretty easy to play. However, the main strength of the spec comes down from their short offensive cooldowns, which again, 30 seconds minor cooldowns, while every 1 minute is your major cooldowns. I mean, tell me a spec better for low-level keys than red. You cannot. Like, this spec just destroys everybody on like low to mid-level keys and high-level keys. The self-sustain kinda is not really there to be like an S-tier competitor, but nonetheless, looking to be a fantastic choice for Season 2. Again, private damage could be an issue if you don't play Executioner Sentence, and single target sometimes might not be the greatest depending on the procs you're having with Red Paladin. Nonetheless, you're incredibly tanky and you have a lot of ways to support your team, like poison removal, disease removal, freedoms, and Blessing of Sacrifice, Blessing of Protection, 3% Devotion Hour coming passively from you. I have an immunity, several ways to mitigate damage, double defensive too. I mean, what else do you want as a melee spec, right? I feel like Red has the full arsenal of like, everything you kind of want. If I were to make the spec better, I would probably increase the single target by a little bit, while giving the spec some kind of a like prior target damage profile, consistent one, even if I don't play Executioner Sentence. But nonetheless, I believe they are going to be one of the best options in Season 3. Alright, moving forward, it's gonna be the Unholy Dead Knight / Frost Dead Knight. Now, both of the specs are gonna, in my opinion, appear quite good. Depending on the dungeon, depending on a key level, you might want to swap around. So the Unholy Dead Knight, depending once again on the dungeon, I have personally preferred to play Sun Lin just because even though people hate the RNG aspect of it with the Blood Beast, I have enjoyed it quite a bit just because of the casino effects on it. Incredibly strong AoE damage profile. I mean, when I say incredibly strong, this pick can actually do some magic in mass AoE, okay? Definitely not to be underestimated. Nonetheless, the biggest problem I'm having currently with Unholy Dead Knight is their single target. It's not one of the most competitive ones, but the mass AoE damage compensates with the lack of great single target. On behalf of Frost Decay, well, to be frank with you, I believe the uncapped capabilities or mass AoE of Frost Decay are a little bit lower than what Unholy can provide. However, the prior target damage of Frost Decay and the single target, I consider a massive asset coming from them. Which is why I believe they both share same power link. Depending on the key level, group comp, you might want to swap around. Nonetheless, both of them are incredibly tanky, or if not one of the tankiest specs so far in Mythic Plus, and at the same time provide great utility for your team. Well, I wouldn't say a great, but like, decent. They have a CR or BR, whatever you want to call it, AMZ, which can save your team, countless times, and have the ability to mitigate a lot of damage, which can offset your healer focus towards the rest of the group instead of like trying to focus up triple DPS for heal. You only have to heal like 2 people right now instead of 3. I believe all those combined together make Unholy and Frost great DPS options for Season 2. And one last thing I want to mention is if Vengeance the Age ends up being actually a top meta pick, I believe both of those picks can benefit from it because, again, most of your damage comes from magic, which, again, Vengeance increased magical damage done by 3%. So you're going to become a 3% stronger spec compared to some of your competitors, which some of them are just pretty heavy physical damage instead of like magical and physical. So that's like another bonus point give or take. Alright, before we review the number 1 spot, we have to go with a honorable pick. This time around, it's gonna be Assassination Rogue. Nope. A lot of people thought it's gonna be Enhanced. Nope. After the most recent nerfs, I believe the Assassination Rogue will be taking the spot of Enhanced. Honestly, even though the utilities might not be as great as Enhanced, for example, or the specs that are placed, above him or below him, I believe Rogue AoE output is just incredibly strong. Consistently great AoE output, which is one of the major factors why they're considered currently so good in M+. Now, obviously, as everybody knows, well, I guess some people don't know, the single target damage of Rogue is definitely dreadful and it's something to consider. It reminds me something like a Pocket Unholy Decay. Great AoE output, consistent one even without cooldowns, with mediocre ST, which can be problematic in some other cases. Specifically in this dungeon pool where there's like a lot of proud target mobs and heavy ST fights. So yeah, I feel like if they were to like change us a little bit, I definitely would prefer to have better ST right now. Nonetheless, good mob control coming from Assassination Rogue, a lot of ways to escape combat, and again, I believe they're gonna be quite durable in Season 2. However, one of the features I didn't like, as I already mentioned, is the ST. Nonetheless, honorable mention pick. I think they're gonna do fantastic, so don't be discouraged to play it. Alright. Coming in at number 1. Now, this one is something a lot of people would feel awkward, but Pharaoh Druid is actually my pickup for the best melee coming into Season 2. Now, a lot of people think about, wait, hold up. This has to be a joke, because the last time Pharaoh was good was like many years ago. No, actually Pharaoh right now is doing fantastic. Great mass AoE damage, insane prio damage, actually good single target on top of it too. Overall, the utility of Pharaoh Druid is one of the best, or in general, Druid utility is one of the best, which perfectly fits the narrative with Season 2 comps, because they do need a secure Battle with Resurrection, which again, in a faithful Druid plus Mark of the Wild, is one of the most reliable ones out there. On top of this, on top of the Mark of the Wild plus the CR, a lot of other ways to do damage, to provide utility, like Curse Spell, Poison Spell, Vortex, Typhoon, for example. And it's just so many other ways to add further benefit of what team having you around. Now, comparison between Balance and Pharaoh, because people are going to be like, oh, but why would I play Pharaoh if I can play Balance? Well, sure, Balance technically could be better in the damage department, because they can benefit from, let's say, Mage or Vengeance DH better than Pharaoh. Pharaoh has something that Balance don't have, and that is a second defensive, which could be really good against heavy incoming damage. Outside of Barskin, you can have an on-demand bear form, or you can have also Survival Instincts. Every 3 minutes, incredibly strong damage reduction cooldown, which could save you in situations where heavy damage is incoming, or if your Barskin is not available at the moment. Nonetheless, very surprised to say this, but Pharaoh is actually looking to be one of my old Season 2. Incredibly strong performance coming from the spec. Well deserved first spot. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to subscribe and like. Do not miss any of the videos coming in later in the channel. As always, I believe the final changes are already in. I would not be inclined to see more than that, because we already seen everything. The next one should appear likely around April, end of March, just before we get the 11.1.2 patch, which again, with that patch, which I would assume there will be some class changes coming in, but for the most part, before season starts, we already know which one of the specs will perform good, which one will perform bad. You guys have all the info. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, see you on stream 2 days before the season coming in. Have a good one, take care, and as always,